Syndra, because don't forget Angel, of course, is a big Galio player, which we've seen take it into that Syndra a couple of times, so could be opting to go towards that, but instead, nah, they're fine. They're just going to wait and see what the AD carry matchup is.
Yeah, going to go for the Syndra here, and deciding that they don't need to prioritize the Ashe, right? We talk about Huan Feng. He has a deep hold hero pool, or champion pool, sorry. And bear in mind, Aphelios is still open right now, so like it's easily his highest played AD carry. So should an Ashe come out, he's got options.
Yeah. I think Fofo going towards, here we go, the Aphelios pick there, but still Zoe works pretty well into the Syndra. It's been one that is slightly Syndra favored, but it's fair enough still for the Zoe, so she should be okay. Especially as you can see opting towards the cleanse there for Fofo, so should be able to get through that laning phase relatively okay. On the upside, with Aphelios locked in, we have seen a lot of people just tend back towards the Ezreal. You basically nullify the laning phase and then hit that 2-item spike where you can be super strong. And now you've got a decent base for Suning to work into a couple of different styles of comp. You can go full style of this kind of more poke-orientated comp where you try to siege and have the likes of the Syndra work quite well with her long-range stuns, and then you've got also the Ezreal here. You can go in towards a team fight as well if you want to, or even just try and go for a poke or pick style in this as well, where you can have the arcane ults come in over the top with some of that stuns coming in from Syndra as well.
Thresh going to be banned away here instead of prioritized, so both of Sword Art's signatures now been taken off the board, but I feel like I'm doing Sword Art a little dirty there, just talking about him having 2 champions nowadays, where I do feel like Sword Art has improved significantly as a support. When you think about him in spring, it was very much the Thresh and the Bard stood out, but now I feel like he's really spread his wings a bit this split.
I agree. I am the biggest fan of his Leona and that. I think he goes in a little bit over aggressive a lot of the time, so I'd rather see him avoid that pick here. More than likely, though, we will see him pick up something like the Nautilus here in this next rotation and leave that counter pick top lane.
To be fair, though, we have seen plenty of Ezreal Leona. That is kind of the go-to lane.
KO ban, I think they're just going to take Ornn. I think that's what the call here is. It's like, look, we're just going to go full team fight. So Bin will get his hands on the Ornn, and then they'll still have some sort of counter pick there. So you can't just go Nautilus on BLG side, Leone on the opposite, and try and work something there.
I don't think that's going in. Yeah, blind pick Fiora is not the play. Yeah, Ornn comes through in the end. Maybe hovering the Fiora as like a go on, I dare you. But we'll see, because now over towards the side of BLG, and they're going to lock in the Nautilus for Shinma.
ADD is someone that has taken Sion into the Ornn before, and I mean, he also does play a decent amount of Camille as well. Could see him just swap completely over into that style, but there it is. The Nautilus locked in. Means the Sword Art. Okay,
wait, what?
So this is a top lane Zilean. So this is something that has been played a little bit into the Ornn. We've seen a little bit in solo queue. So basically what you do is push the wave. You have a bunch of damage that can come out for Ornn, who does want to, like, basically, when he uses the Bellows Breath, he sees himself to a certain extent. So you toss in one bomb, then as he just finishes the Bellows Breath, you toss in the second one, and you're guaranteed that double setup with the stun.
I thought that was going to be Yuumi looking for a second there. It is going to be the Leona in the end for Sword Art. One nice little tidbit. Sword Art's using a Flash Wolves mouse mat as well, which is always lovely to see him shouting out to his history, you know, but ultimately we do see the Leona from Sword Art, much to Dagda's dismay on my left here, but the Zilean top from ADD. This is a curious one. Not going to lie, I'm excited though. Like, let's see it. If it works, it works. Let's go.
Oh yeah, so basically the way that this wants to work is push, push, push. You're going to shove in against this Ornn, and any time that Ornn tries to go for the Bellows Breath we talked about, you can easily land these double bombs and then obviously cause a lot of hurt, a lot of damage, and you're looking to, when you get to these later stage team fights, pair with your Aphelios, because now you've got this Aphelios who's super speedy, has a revive, and can play a lot more aggressive in these team fights as well. So for the side of BLG, they're definitely trying to set up wings to be the carry here, and still using the likes of Fofo with these long-range trouble bubbles. You've got the Nautilus for your engage as well, and just trying to play a super aggressive team fight style.
The thing that does concern me a little bit, though, is ADT is gone for a top laner that needs to push like crazy and is very squishy, and SofM's got Lee Sin. Angel's got Syndra. There is plenty of roam and kill potential coming out from Suning when it comes towards that top side.
So the thing that ADD can do, though, as well, is, yes, I 100% agree, you can end up with some aggressive plays towards him, but you can also shove in very effectively and then look for roams towards this mid lane as well, and work in conjunction with Meteor to try and make plays towards this mid. So you've got a lot of options with this Zilean where you can go elsewhere, but also be quite aggressive in your lane.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to see. Well, I'm excited. I feel like a student, and ADD is the teacher right now. Teach me about this weird old Zilean top pick, because I'm excited. He's starting to cull. He knows he's not going to be fighting anytime soon. But yeah, this is going to be an odd one. And the Colonel, he doesn't know what to think.
Now, he's a bit up and down all over the place. But
look, he's got a confused face on. He's pointing at the top lane. He's like, guys, what is going on right now?
Well, we will get to see this Glacial Augment Zilean start to try and put some pressure on towards Bin, and you're still going to see him when we get to these later stages trying to be the kind of anti-engage, or at least a little bit of chase down potential as well, when you can go towards Twin Shadows and when you got Glacial Augment, and then you can proc those, obviously, you know, basically as a CC to try and stop Suning and at least force engages if you're ahead as BLG.
And if you've not dealt with a AP carry that builds Glacial Augment and goes for the Twin Shadows and the GLP, it is so damn annoying. You can never escape them. They have so much chase down potential and also self-peel to get away as well. Not to mention that Zilean has unlimited movement speed, so you're never getting near him.
And he's going to hit them pretty quick as well, because he has started cull, as he said, so he'll be able to very quickly get towards these two items, the GLP and the Twin Shadows, and then be a serious nuisance when it comes to team fights and also in lane for Bin as well, trying to escape. So we'll get to see ADD really putting pressure into Bin. You can already see zoning Bin off entirely from this wave.
Yeah, I mean, this is natural in a melee versus range top matchup. You see Bin starting with the Door and Shield because he knows he's going to need that extra bit of regen for the top lane. And every time that the bomb doesn't hit, you'll see Bin find his opportunity to try and get in there, grab some CS while he can.
So look, while that's all going to be going on in the top lane, let's have a look at what's going to be going on the rest of the map. Because once again, we have SofM and Angel who can put some good pressure towards this mid lane. It's one of the beauties of having the Syndra pick into Zoe is that Zoe, pretty immobile. Also, when she gets her level 6, she pretty much says, hey, look, I'm going to be popping back up here. Syndra, land your stun. So when you've got SofM, who on these early stages beats out Trundle, and especially when he hits that level 6 mark, it kind of becomes a little bit more so, they can look for these aggressive trades in mid.
I'm a little bit surprised, honestly, that BLG, after game 1, were like, yeah, Angel, no worries, you can have Syndra again. Because Angel did damn well on the Syndra. There was one stun, especially in the mid lane, where he managed to hit Fofo's Orianna at very, very long range with the stun. And that was what set up the first blood for SofM on his Graves. So a little surprised that they let him get it, but you know what? Fofo also got comfort in the mid lane with this Zoe, and there's a lot of pressure on Fofo now to show up on this Zoe pick.
There is, because, look, we expect a lot from Fofo, especially said when he's on his comfort pick. This is his most played this split on the Zoe pick, so I want to see now if he can have at least some plays where he shoves in and gets out of lane and sets up these side lanes. But the big thing here is that this game is actually resting on Wings, because he's the Aphelios, he's the one who's going to be enabled by ADD. They are trying to set him up for success, and after the last game's performance where it's a little bit shaky on the Enchanted Crystal Arrows, didn't have the strongest of, I mean, even damage output, I want to see what he can do now with this Aphelios.
And especially when he's got an Aphelios with a Zilean ult. We've seen Aphelios be very aggressive when they have things like the Karma mid. When you can turn invincible, I can imagine Wings going really aggressive. And let's just think back to when Wings first joined this roster. The thing we were most excited about with him as a carry coming out of the LDL was him as a team fight AD carry with an Aphelios, with a team that is built to support him on top of all of that. You expect Wings to be fully in his comfort zone this game.
I'm going to have to see if he can get that rolling. The thing that I'm looking towards is this Dragon. You're still waiting. Look, ADD is not going to have as big an impact in team fights as likes of Bin when he gets his ultimate. So, oh, hang on.
Sword Art's going in and he's trying to get onto Wings. Good damage down, but ultimately they can't follow up too heavily. Great trade, though.
And that's the thing, is that as tending towards this Dragon that Suning are moving towards, before Huanfeng backs and before that first back comes in from Wings, Huanfeng is able to go toe-to-toe with Wings because it's all even when it comes to items. So when Sunni move over to try and aggress towards this dragon, I expect that they'll be in a pretty good spot, although as I say that, Meteor trying to make a play on this bottom side now to try and stop that from happening.
He will be spotted out by the ward in the tri-brush though, so immediately pings go down. Huanfeng will just be trying to farm from a distance with those Qs. So it does mean that we kind of have a little bit of a reset, and once again, going back to your point about items, Wings gets to buy a BF sword on his first recall, and that always feels great as an AD carry. On the other side, Huanfeng, he's got to go for a tier. Doesn't quite feel as good.
And that's where the difference is going to come in when we look towards that dragon. But it is only Cloud Soul, so neither team really wanting to commit too much to it. The beauty for Bin in this top lane matchup, though, against ADD, as you can see already, that he's managed to pick up that Catalyst of the Aeons. So he's going to be getting the health. He's going to get that mana back every time he ticks over on a new level. Whereas for ADD, he's got to eventually run out of mana. He will have to back and then try and get it back up into this top lane. So for Bin, it's hopefully trying to get this mana burnt on ADD as quick as possible. But you can see ADD at the moment is going to be putting still a lot of hurt into this top lane match.
It's a pretty sizable CS lead in that bottom lane as well. So Huanfeng is definitely going to need to stick around and grab that wave to keep the gap from extending in favor of Wings. Meteor will grab himself the Drake to start this one off. So nice little start here from BLG. They're the ones with the tempo advantage in the early game.
Yeah, off of that push from Wings and Shinmo on the bottom side, Meteor can pick that up. And honestly, I'm surprised that we haven't seen too much out of SofM so far. We talked about how he could play through that mid lane matchup if he wanted to, but this Lee Sin has just been farming away, and that's giving the opportunity for Meteor to get to a later point. It's giving the opportunity where Wings is like, cool, I'm farming up, I'm becoming Aphelios things, and a lot of the BLG composition revolves around nothing really happening at these early stages of the game.
I just want to take a moment here to applaud Bin in the top lane, who is an Ornn into a ranged matchup and is currently up in CS with the wave pushing towards him. Like, I feel like this is a commendable achievement, honestly.
So the reason there is that slight difference is ADD backed, whereas Bin was able to just stay in lane. So ADD did take a little bit of time to go back, pick up another Sapphire Crystal and a Doran's Ring for himself, so he can try and keep his mana pool nice and topped up. Whereas Bin, with that Catalyst Aeons, just stuck around for a little while and did Ornn things where he taps himself something new for that. I suppose I was going to say apartment or the fashion store, but I don't really know. I don't know what I'd put Bin as. Yeah. I don't feel like Ornn owns a little like shop for himself.
A little boutique.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a Reddit thread about, like, if you could have any ability from League of Legends, what would it be? And someone was like, dude, I'd have Ornn's passive. Just build anything for myself at any moment. Yeah, sounds great.
But technically, he still needs the gold. So, like, the gold still disappears. So, he can build himself, but, like, you still have to pay for it, right?
So what you're saying is Ornn/Bill Gates is the true final boss. Wings is going for a trade. Graviton comes through. Yeah, okay. They're not going to fight. Go on.
Basically, what I'm saying is that, like, Ornn is just faster online delivery. He's like drone delivery. And it's just like he taps and just calls the drone, but he still had to already pay on his credit card.
So basically, what you... Hang on. What you're telling me is Ornn's passive is actually just access to the internet.
Yes.
That's not as powerful of a passive as the guy on Reddit made it sound.
No.
I feel like I've been missold here.
Look, all he does is he stands there, he spends the gold still, so the money has to be going somewhere, and then it shows up. So in my mind, there's actually just a drone or something that's just like, basically fired this thing up to him, and he's already paid with his credit card. So
I don't know if you've seen, but they are doing, I think it's called like, there's like instant delivery off of Amazon that you can get in America at the minute, which is absolutely
drone delivery,
bonkers.
isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that was the... Yeah, I saw some articles about it. We live in the future, man, but it's kind of scary. Not going to lie.
So basically,
I want to go back to the past.
I'm on the Ornn conspiracy theory train, where Ornn is never building the item that actually looks like the item he's just got, right? So I think he's just told everyone that he actually is building these items. He's forging them. But all he's doing is tapping away on this Sapphire Crystal that's constantly there. And then it's just ordered
cell
something.
phone.
Yeah.
He's
just punching in the numbers.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. It's just like, here is my credit card number, and here, look, perfect. Instant delivery. It's all a conspiracy.
Look, I'm not saying that I endorse this message. I'm just not saying that I don't, you know? That's where I'm at on the conspiracy theory here, Dags. But you know what he's bought himself with his little magical anvil is a 5 CS lead in the top lane. Pretty exciting, don't you think? Not to mention the 3 CS lead in the mid lane as well. There is actually a significant CS lead in the bottom lane. 20 CS in favor of Wings, so that's very exciting indeed. SofM's going to be caught in the jungle, but he just gives him a big old roundhouse kick to the jaw. Meteor's out of that.
You have a lot of BLG coming down, though, to try and contest this spot, and very much BLG are getting control for this next dragon that's coming up. ADD even as well, starting to make a little bit of a move to get that Scuttle Crab for himself, to keep himself safe in case anything happens on the top side.
Oh, good attempt there from Fofo. That Battlestar was damn close to hitting, and with 4 members down here, this is probably going to be the first tower of the game taken. BLG really hard committing to make sure that they can find themselves an objective, but SofM comes in, Meteor engaged upon, and the teleport being channeled by BLG as Sword Art just ain't tanky enough to make this kind of play. Bin, knockups across the team here, and it's going to be the Zilean ult to keep Wings alive. Keep your eyes on Aphelios, who flashes to the back of the play. Fofo still surviving here. Angel, scatter the weak across everybody. That was beautiful. Shinmo gets a hook, though, and it's Angel to answer with his own life. Sword Art is going to be surviving on this one as the auto attacks come out from Hwanfeng. Doesn't have a whole bunch of mana to work with. Presence of Mind keeps him in this play, somehow surviving everything.
Just not quite able to get his ADD, but still BLG come out on top. 2 kills go the way of Wings. All those turret plates went over in their favor as well. And you can see there the power of this Zilean, where it looks like Wings is going to go down. Manages to get the Zilean, so gets away from all that CC that suddenly tossed his direction, and then they're able to flash into a better position. So a bit of an overstep here from Suning. There's 4 members from BLG already here, so they instantly kill Sword Art. Wings looks like he's in trouble with everyone committing to kill him, but there's the ultimate from Zilean. He's able to flash into a much better spot here. And then, to give Angels due, this was beautiful to get the kill onto Fofo, but unfortunately ends up taking that step too far forward, goes down himself. And now BLG have got a bunch of gold into Wings, which means that, again, he's going to be very quickly towards Infinity Edge. Has it finished already, and BLG can look towards the second dragon off the back of how much was invested in.
And it's really important to mention that Hwanfeng was out of mana for the vast majority of that fight. He got a small boost of mana right at the end from his Presence of Mind, but the vast majority of the fight, he was out of mana, so he was not dealing any kind of significant damage. And now BLG off the back of that will find themselves a second Drake as well, so this time around, we're actually seeing BLG the ones to pull the trigger in the early game.
Yeah, and Wings is going to be able to get this turret as well, because they spotted SofM on the top side. ADD was able to figure out where he was, so they can just keep pushing here, and Meteor's going to answer for any camps that are taken by that SofM.
So now 1,000 gold is the lead for BLG. That's going to be extended ever so slightly as Wings will grab himself the first tower of the game, and he gets to soak up all that gold by himself as well. This is best case scenario when you're playing Aphelios, no less. Now Ornn going to get a triple knock-up here, and there's a scatter the weak onto Fofo as well. True shot barrage, but can't really complete the combos. SofM got a bit of a weird flash. Blast Cone denies the Dragon Rage, and BLG get away with everything.
I don't know how intentional that was from Meteor, but that looked pretty damn cool.
Completely calculated.
And here we go. So what I wanted to point out was, look, in the scenario where we're going to see this Rift Herald coming up in a few minutes, well, the way you can play as BLG is send Wings topside right now, so he's already putting pressure on this top lane structure. And even if Suning decide to, hey, look, we're just going to trade bottom lane turret, you're still trading up as BLG, and that's not even including ADD, who's managed to take 2 of those turret plates for himself already. So this is BLG looking so strong coming into game number 2.
So now clearing vision on towards this Rift Herald that you were just talking about. You can see Hwanfeng starting to make his way up towards the top side of the map because he knows he's going to be needed in a second. Wings is already up there. Bin's Call of the Forge God is on cooldown right now, so Suning, I don't know if they can necessarily take this fight.
No, I don't think they'll want to. I think right now they're just going to try and reallocate their lane space, so Bin will be moving down towards this bottom side. As you can see, ADD actually is kind of hovering towards this mid, but he'll also be moving it down eventually towards that bottom lane.
That's a big old difference when it comes... Oh my god, Angel just doesn't miss with the scatter of the week. He has been on point this game. There's not that much follow-up from the rest of the team there, but again, really good stuns coming out. And I was wrong. Suning are going to fight for this. They move in towards this river. They're not going to give this one up.
They do have the Manamune completed there for Hwanfeng, but not having the Sheen means his damage can be a little bit lacking. But BLG are already in a position here, and with Bin not having that Call of the Forge God, as he said, BLG can just burst down this before Bin has that ultimate available.
Yeah, Huanfeng doesn't have a whole heap of damage either. You saw the Q just hit onto Shinmo, who has absolutely no armor and did nothing. Oh, Meteor gets the Herald.
I thought he stole it for a second.
Yeah, so did I. That was a little bit dicey, but he's going to be fine. Huanfeng just trying to get some extra autos onto the tower. They don't trade, though, importantly. They couldn't finish the tier 1 off.
And look, SofM and Angel are coming into this bottom side, but again, Wings is being left in his lonesome in this top lane. He's going to take down this turret because, well, he's Aphelios and is already below half health, but need to be careful to play in mid lane.
This is going to be an ult coming through straight on towards Fofo. Another stun from Angel, but it's just going to be Shinmo that they're settling for right now. Meteor now going to be knocked up as well as Huanfeng is just free firing on the backside. Angel still waiting there. Wings isn't in the play. Angel has his ultimate available. Surely they got to pull the trigger on more.
ADD has his own ult though, so unless you can CC down ADD, which they haven't.
Well, they might be able to in a second here, but SofM takes a huge chunk. He's tanking the tower for way too long here. ADD uses that ulti. It's going to be waited out, but ultimately they can't follow up on it, so it doesn't really matter.
It's a kill for and a tower going the way of Suning, but they do lose that wave in the top lane. So when you look at the gold-wise and experience-wise, it does really even out overall. So, I mean, you're still getting more gold onto Wings, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen. He's well ahead of anyone on Suning, and that's what BLG are looking for. This is the whole thing that BLG revolve around. So with all this extra gold dumped into Wings, Infinity Edge, now got the Zeal, he's very rapidly approaching 200 years.
I really feel like we needed more presence out of SofM so far this game. Like, this Lee Sin pick, you have great advantages in the early game, especially trying to get in mid for Angel, trying to get onto Fofo. Like, I feel like that was where they needed to start to get the ball rolling.
And that's what we talked about, is that SofM could have played through Angel. I mean, you've already mentioned it, how he hasn't missed any of these kind of the week so far this game. And especially after you hit that level 6 point, SofM wins out in this matchup. So I'm surprised to see that he didn't try and make any plays happen.
Suning, what are you doing? That is the question. That is the old rhyme that they used to sing in school.
Well, it's probably the dragon, because BLG are looking down the barrel of Soul Point, and Suning have to make some kind of play here to try and prevent that.
Yeah, they got to be looking for these Drakes, especially with a Mountain Drake as well. It's going to be an important one here.
So if Suning can... Oh, hang on. No, I was going to say, if Suning can make a pick onto Wings, yes, you can have ADD pop that revive, but there is the potential that BLG aren't able to follow up quick enough with the consistent damage that Suning have to try and save Wings, especially if SofM has managed to boot him into the team. So keep your eyes on SofM to see if you can make that pick happen.
Bin's in trouble here. His Serum Charge got denied, and that means he has to flash. Call of the Forge God will be available for the fight.
SofM was on Dragon. I don't understand why he's this far down. I thought that could have been potentially the play where they can get onto Wings, but fortunately not able to make it happen, and he will still be spotted by some stage of BLG.
Sword Art has the Eclipse, and this is going to be the fight now as Suning need to save their support, but Shinmo gets taken pretty low himself. Solar Flare across the team as SofM's on the back line as well. ADD's in trouble, as is Wings. Everybody low, but Suning can't finish off these kills. Meteor forced away. There's a bomb onto everybody!
Get away from
Huanfeng! Bin, what are you doing? Huanfeng falls! Oh, and that is just not what you want to see. Now Wings gets to charge on forward, and he wants to finish off the Ornn. One more auto would do the job. Fofo looking for a paddle star, but Sword Art is there to block things, and Fofo's killed himself instead. Now Wings has to try and get away with his own life as Angel flashes forward to get yet another kill. Bin charging on in, can't quite get the knock up though, and ADD gets out with his life. And now back onto the Dragon once more.
And SofM is still healthy, so we should be able to go towards this. Meteor has flash, but I don't think you want to invest it for just one Dragon towards Suning. And that was a chaotic fight, but Suning do just about manage to come out on top.
Oh, Bin.
Oh, yeah.
Bin, you traitor. Huanfeng had flash as well, but it's like,
do
you really feel like you need to flash to get away from your teammate?
Yeah, look, this was a... Look, Sword Art got caught out here, and I wasn't sure if this was where BLG would be able to fight, but watch Wings here. He's consistently getting all this poke damage from Huanfeng and not actually able to get into a position where he can return that damage. So when this play comes in, Wings is already too low. He can't follow up on the damage. Then Bin realizes way too late that he needs to get away from Huanfeng. But again, the savior of Suning, Angel, able to come in clutch at the end of this fight.
Yeah, look at this flash play right at the end of things. Obviously, Fofo goes down. The Scale of the Week nearly hit onto Wings as well, but just flash Q auto, beautifully done. then ADD gets out. But importantly, Suning got the Drake, and that is what was crucial there out of everything.
Yeah. We still need to see better execution, though, from BLG, because obviously we're still waiting, as we said, Wings hitting critical mass on this Aphelios, but the way they opted into that fight was not how they wanted to approach it at all, with Wings being slowed and shunted out of this fight before he could even try and get auto attacks off.
ADD trying to zoom away here. Will flash out to safety, but the GLP isn't quite in range here. Scout of the week is dodged, though. That was nicely done from ADD. Fancy footwork.
Well played, and I mean, it does get a lot easier when you can be as speedy as he is right now. Even getting, as you can see, the trade back, clears out a whole bunch of the minions, so not too much invested from Suning to try and make that play happen, but we'll give BLG some control in around this Baron area.
So the Colonel, right now, still has no idea what to say, because there's Zilean top of the game, and he's just well out of sorts at this point. He's at, like, when you consider his qualifications, like, generally speaking, most of his career it's been about chicken. So then when you do get into these weirder games, he tends to play it safe.
Are you telling me that there is zero relationship to chicken knowledge and esports knowledge?
It depends on if Galio's in the game or what skin he's running.
Birdio, true, yeah.
Also, Azir.
Okay.
But outside of that,
I feel like
yeah.
he's a pigeon, though. Isn't he a pigeon, not a chicken?
Yeah, but bird knowledge is kind of all-encompassing. Like it's you have to do both modules at university when you study in KFC.
Okay. And I mean, you can cook pigeon as well. You can eat pigeon.
You can.
Alongside chicken. So, I mean,
it's a bit posher, though, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I've had it once. It was at a posh restaurant. It was well nice.
I've had it as well. It's not bad.
Stop what?
It's not bad.
Oh, it's not bad. I thought you said stop batting or something. I was like,
yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Stop batting for the fence. Stop trying to show off. But
not to brag, but I ate a pigeon once.
It wasn't at a restaurant. It was just at a train station.
Yeah, no. I was just really hungry. Subway was already closed. What can I say? Anyway, back to the game. Suning. They haven't missed their train just yet. Subway isn't closed. But they're not going to go for the Baron or anything. Any crazy shenanigans just yet, Dagda. I know you were getting excited over there. Calm down.
I'll try and keep my emotions in check.
I know, this has been a really high-octane, really high-action game. I know that you
I mean, well, it could actually be about to turn into one, because SofM is in a position here to get this great kick onto Wings.
Let's see it. SofM gets the kick. It's onto ADD here, and they follow up immediately. Getting that chrono shift out. Shinmo has to use the stone plate. It's another sonic wave, but they can't really commit underneath the tower. And Bin is going to be stunned up. There's a bomb. You can't get away. The flash was too late. Wanfeng now is actually very lonely over there. As his arcane shift, and the slows will be able to keep him safe. But forced out actually to use the flash, and now Meteor's closing the gap as well. But arcane shift comes back off cooldown once again. The Qs are just so damn hard to deal with.
You still got to keep your eyes on Angel, though, because he has that unleashed power. But it doesn't matter. BLG say, hey, we've shoved him out enough. Wanfeng's low. We can turn towards this Baron.
They're going to try at very least. Wings will be able to blast on through this. He's Aphelios. Let's bear in mind, this is the one nerf that actually made any kind of difference, is he won't be able to just keep the chakrams up forever anymore. So it does mean that the sheer rush potential isn't as significant as it was. SofM is getting kicked out of his own jungle, though, by Fofo. That might just be enough to secure this one. He's spotted on a ward. He wants to get in, but Wings is going to be blocking his sonic wave. Fofo keeps the threat up. In the meantime, ADD has used that chrono shift, but he's fine. He's Zilean. And BLG, that was beautiful.
Yeah, they managed to escape away absolutely scot-free. And yeah, you get the ultimate out of ADD, but that's going to be back up in no time at all. So Baron now towards BLG, and that gives them the opportunity now to start really sieging up with their comp. But here you go, SofM. Miscommunication from Suning. SofM goes for the burst onto ADD. The problem is that Wanfeng had already committed to using the ultimate on Wings, who we assumed would be the target. So you're not able to burst that ADD fast enough before he can get that ultimate. And then that turnaround comes in with Bin really struggling with these bombs this game.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't blame him too much, really. It is difficult when you're the big meaty melee guy that's got to get in there as well. But he's hit level 13, so he's upgrading some items. He's going to be a lot tankier than he was last time we saw him getting smacked in the face, which I feel like has been most of the game, to be quite honest. But Dragon is up now. This would be sole point for BLG if they're able to get it. SofM once again in this tri-brush. And in comes the Forge God Solar Flare onto Wings, but he's got a cleanse available. Kick onto Fofo and followed through. SofM taken to the other side of the world right here, and Fofo's still chasing him on out. Bin gets a 4-man knock coming in. SofM goes. This is all about the jungler as Angel is layering the damage across BLG. Scatter the Weak goes wide for the first time in the game, and SofM back onto the backline once again. He is large and in charge of this game. ADD underneath the tower, and he moves at the speed of light, so there's just no way to close the gap here. Sonic Wave is going to be available in a second here as Angel moving in as well. ADD, you can buy yourself some time. In fact, that's exactly what your champion does, but ultimately, you're going to go down here. Another one for Angel.
I love how Angel doesn't even bother using a Dark Spear. He's like, no, I'm just going to auto-attack. I know I can hit these ones. So, Zilean do find the fight. They do find the play, and it means that they're able to get this dragon for themselves as well. And the beauty of this is you're an Ornn and this Leona who's picking up a bunch of these mountain dragons, and if you get to that soul, it is going to be so difficult for Wings to work his way through this front line.
So let's take another look at the madness. Just watch SofM follow Fofo around the world here.
Yeah, I love this play from SofM though, where he separates out the two carries, so he's able to get onto Fofo, as he said, goes miles back, and even with Hwanfeng going down though, SofM comes back in just in time to be able to set up the play here to kill the Aphelios, and that makes all the difference here. As ADD's ult's already been used to try and keep this Aphelios alive once, there's just too many different angles that Zilean are attacking from to keep the Aphelios safe.
ADD just zooming around the turret at the end there. Absolutely ridiculous. To be fair, he did get Wings on a silver platter there. Like, he'd finished off Fofo. Wings had no idea where SofM was. Thought that he was safe on that side of the play. He was very far from safe.
I love the build paths that are coming in from Zilean though, because they realize, look, let's be honest here, it's all about Aphelios on this squad. So you got the Bramble Vest already completed for SofM. You're getting the Bramble Vest now going to be completed for Bin in that top lane as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see an Executioner come through at some stage for Hwanfeng as well. They are all about, let's just stop this Aphelios from healing, make sure we're applying Grievous wounds in some aspect of our kit, and then we can try and burst him out and stop him from being able to sever him his way to victory.
Yeah, we have to mention as well that the Mortal Wounds does affect Chrono Shift's healing. Like, the amount of health that you get on the revive is impacted by Mortal Wounds. So, and when it's such a massive heal like that, the percentage really adds up. Finn going to take a bomb to the face here. There's no dragon for 3.5 minutes, so I'm not quite sure why everyone's posturing for a fight here, but Wings wants to get in onto Hwanfeng.
I'm still watching SofM though.
Hang on, in we go. Sword Art onto Fofo, and SofM jumps straight on towards the Zoe as well. Solar Flare is there. Sonic Wave's on cooldown though, so SofM does go in. Never mind, I was going to say he won't. And he goes back out again.
They're just getting control of this mid lane though, because now BLG have to enter out towards stage left, whereas Zilean can shove in this wave and then look towards this mid lane turret.
Baron isn't even available right now. There's nothing on the map, but they don't commit to the tower.
Okay, so basically what the bottom replay was showing us that SofM did use the kick to try and get on towards Shinmo, but wasn't quite able to, which is why we saw him being a little bit more cautious in his engage in that last fight. But as he said, look, nobody able to get anything off of that kerfuffle, and everyone will back away.
Skerfuffle. Good word.
Thank you.
Halfway between a scuff and a kerfuffle. I like it, I like it. This is why we love you, Dagda.
Because I can't say words properly.
Because you're inventive. We're not going to say you fumbled the word, we're going to say you made up a new word. Because that's how we roll here at the LPL.
I mean, look, that's how RNG came about, right? So yeah, I just kind of let it roll.
That's true. Just embrace it. Wear it as armor and no one can use it against you. That's Game of Thrones for future reference. I'll be testing you on that later.
Appreciate it.
Let's take a look at the AD carries here. Wings is 3,000 gold ahead of Hwanfeng at this point in the game, which is pretty terrifying because he's on Aphelios.
And a 3-item Aphelios. That is also working towards just that final crit item to give himself 100% crit. So he's probably going to be picking up the Essence Reaver, I imagine, which is just going to be absolutely monstrous. He's at 95% crit now, so realistically, you're kind of winging it on a hope and a prayer for Zilean that he manages to miss one crit here. That means you're not going to die instantly if you end up against him.
So now we'll have to see where this one's going to go next, because these fights have been chaotic to say the least. We started the game with BLG very much in the driver's seat. They got themselves the first 2 Drakes, they got themselves a gold lead, but the gold lead has diminished. The Drakes have been tied up now. The next one's up in a minute. And it feels like Suning are slowly but surely eking advantages each and every time we see these two teams fight.
And a lot of that is off the back of the way Suning are playing this. SofM is constantly finding these flanking routes like he is at the moment and making sure he's causing havoc, because it's about trying to force tough decisions onto ADD where how am I positioning, how am I going to keep Wings safe, am I keeping Fofo safe, how are we going about this fight? And BLG at the moment at least trying to move back into these tighter areas so that then it makes it harder for Suning to find that perfect fight.
Well, Suning are going to try and find the perfect fight right now. Solar Flare across the team as SofM's on the back line once again. He's all the way in. Kick across the team, but he can't quite find the right target. Fofo surviving Wings. Stuns across everyone, but doesn't quite have the damage to finish these health bars off. Flashes away, but the scan of the week is beautiful once more. And Blin claps his hammers together. Now SofM just going to chase Meteor out of the back of the fight, and this is everything Suning wanted. This is everything they've dreamed of, Dagda.
And it's a good old dream if you're a Suning fan, because that kick from SofM onto Wings solidified BLG's death in that fight, and now they can turn towards both objectives. You can see SofM is going to start up this dragon to make sure that nobody else is stealing that away, while the rest of Suning turn towards this barrel. Straight
onto the big old purple worm. And you know what? SofM is going to try and get this Drake, but he might be a little overzealous here because Meteor is on the way. He's still 5,000 strong. I don't think SofM could stick around here. He's going to find himself in a 2v1.
Meteor is still kind of low, and you nearly have that dragon kick up. Burst potential potentially there, actually, as I say that Meteor. Still a very tanky boy, but it is going to come down to a smite fight.
Yeah. Bear in mind, SofM is a level ahead right now, and he's on Lee Sin, so you expect him to win the smite fight, or in fact just kick Meteor away, take the dragon, and you know what? He's going to die for the play, but he's quite willing to accept his fate after that one. In fact, no, he's looking for a way out. Okay, doesn't get away. I got a little excited there.
Yeah.
ADD
he doesn't
gets
have
the
the
kill.
flash. He had already used the safeguard. He's not getting out. But Baron, Dragon, 3 of those mountain dragons now in favor of Suning. They are so damn tanky. But again, what I want you to do is watch how long SofM holds on to this kick. So just follow in Fofo to bait out a lot, but flash kick onto Wings to separate him now. AGG's bomb was beautiful. It actually nearly gives Wings enough time to respond, but the flash comes a little bit late, but that is the problem. A little bit is too much here against Suning, and that's where they find that team fight win.
These fights have been nothing but chaos all game. It's so hard to track what on earth is going on, but next time we're fighting, keep your eyes on Angel, honestly, because his scatter the weeks have been changing the face of the game every single time.
But that's what we love about Suning, right, is that they have these massive standout performers like SofM, like Angel, like Huanfeng. So when these fights end up super chaotic, you know you can rely on Angel, rely on Huanfeng because of how damn good they are.
Sword Art has taken basically no damage from all of that they're just throwing at him there, but he is going to be forced to flash away because the whole team is here from BLG. But after all of that, they've decided they're not willing to push the play right here because there are no objectives up right now. There's no actual reason to fight.
No, and Suning are just looking to get this bottom lane turret. They're going to start cracking open some of these towers to give themselves a bit more gold. But we are very much getting to the point where, okay, this is Suning finding ways that they can easily fight against BLG, and the triple mountain dragon has given them so much extra armor, so much extra resistances that Wings is really struggling. Like, don't forget, a little while ago, the armor pen from Aphelios got changed to lethality. So he actually has to, as you can see, build the last whisper to try and get through the likes of Bin, try and get through Sword Art. But it's not just an outright win straight off the bat, and especially with how many people are gunning for Wings in these fights, his positioning is really struggling to find somewhere that he can actually be safe from Bin, from Angel, from Sword Art, and he's an SofM who's just flying for him.
And look at SofM right now. He's got a Thorn Mail. He doesn't care about your last whisper. That's not going to do anything. So SofM is going to fly into the back of the fight, and Wings is going to try his best to survive, but he's going to need some help from his friends on this one because SofM, he's making himself a Lee Sin montage so far this game.
And that's it. Credit to SofM. He's been positioning super well to always be in a flanking position, and with how much control Suning have had, they're stopping the vision from BLG from being able to spot him out, and he's able to get these really strong Lee Sin plays.
Fofo's been struggling as well this game on the Zoe. I was kind of excited to see Fofo Zoe again. I was expecting a little bit more out of him, but he's way down in CS. He's had way less impact in the fights than what we've expected out of Angel, which, I mean, Angel's on Syndra. It's a comfort pick for him, and it's incredibly strong right now, but I was hoping for a little bit more.
Well, it's also how do you try and do anything as Fofo? Because, I mean, SofM has got full tank. Bin, it's not a hope you're going to hurt him. I actually saw Paddlestar at full range earlier on, maybe take a singular smidgen of a bar off. But the same when you look at Sword Art. Sword Art is super tanky now as well. So this is where Fofo has just outdone where he's actually useful. And with the magic resist that you built on Huanfeng through the Death Stance, he's going to be strong as well. You got Banshee's Veil and Angel. Like, he's got no hope.
Yeah, hopes. I mean, he's on EDG.
He's on a different team.
So,
yeah,
you're absolutely right. It's going to be Wings that he has to rely on here. But terrible jokes aside, I agree. That is the end of my statement. Let's move over towards the Dragon here. 1 minute until that's up. But the teams are acting like it's there right now as they very aggressively fight for vision.
Again, though, it is Suning spreading out. They're trying to see if they can put Wings in an uncomfortable position, and it's working pretty damn well so far as BLG will give up River, but this is where BLG are hoping to have a little bit more of a better front-to-back fight because they can move in to positions like this where you've got your front line set up. Wings knows where everyone's coming from except for SofM.
They're going to go for this one. SofM will take a good chunk of damage here. But the Call of the Forge God deters anything from BLG to really answer. And we reset once more back to this dance around the Dragon. Let's bear in mind 20 seconds. That would be so. Oh, Fofo barely gets out with his life there, but that's Angel's ult on cooldown now. This is a lot that's been used by the side of Suning. Bin using an exhaust onto Wings here very early on into the fight. Shin mode taking a chunk from Huanfeng. Huanfeng is pretty low on mana.
Don't forget though, Suning do have a lot of poke in this comp with Angel and with Huanfeng, so as long as Bin is able to keep threatening and stop Wings from getting in.
I don't know if Suning necessarily want this one, but Wings gets himself a cleanse to get out of the solar flare. He's found Angel though, and that's a huge shutdown, and now Wings can charge forward on the Aphelios. There's nowhere that Bin can go. Double kill already. Look how quick he is. Huanfeng can't get out of this one. He's got no mana to work with. Can't go for the 1v1 anymore. He doesn't have the mana to get the Qs out. And there's a Zilean to keep Wings safe in all scenarios.
The last second ADD manages to get in there to gift over that revive, and BLG find the fight. They will get the Dragon, but they can't find the game just yet.
They can't find the game just yet, but they put themselves on soul point as well.
So, are you ready for round number 2? Because here we go. This is where Baron is spawning. The thing is, because Suning used so many of their engage tools super early on, and why BLG were able to find such a favorable fight, with Baron now coming up, Suning's ultimates are up a lot quicker. But as you said, look, Wings is free to do what he wants in this. You don't have Bin who can try and get on top of him with that Call of the Forge God. You don't have Angel who's able to get into him either. SofM's kick is long gone, but here we go, fight once more.
Look at him go, zooming around the fight. ADD now playing for distraction as the Dragon, or the Baron, sorry, just getting annihilated. SofM went in way too late, and he sacrificed his life for it, but down went Wings because Angel's off on the side. Meteor's the target now. BLG just have to try and escape with some of these Baron bombs. A great stun comes out, and ADD forced into his Chrono Shift. Bin with the ult across the team as well. But Sword Art won't be able to get onto ADD here.
They got the Baron though. Wings is down for 40 seconds. It's how much can Suning do? Unfortunately, they don't feel very confident because with SofM down himself, they don't want to push in. There's nothing on the map for them to take.
This is going to be good for BLG, I think. I don't think there's anything really Suning can do about this one. They'll take a kill trade if they're the ones to get the Baron. So very nicely done here from BLG. And you know what? It's been close this game, but we are getting to the point where this Aphelios is becoming the hypercarry Aphelios. He's got all 6 items now, and he's got a Zilean that the longer this game goes on, the closer we get to the point where Zilean can ult multiple times in a fight. It's a scary concept, but I've seen it.
Well, we'll have to see if he's going to be able to pull that one off. I'm looking at Wings, as he said, with the 6 items. I'm curious Scimitar there as well, so he can cleanse on top of his cleanse and then maybe get the flash away. But I mean, I'm in a bit of a mixed mind. There's a part of me that wants to see a GA as well, so we just get the double revive. But I think definitely when you've got so much long-range CC from Angel, from Sword Art, and from Bin, it can work pretty well in your favor. SofM is able to find Wings.
Oh, Wings. No, not like this. Okay, the rest of his team is going to be nearby, but Suning have them completely surrounded. SofM jumps in, but has to flash out of the play as well. Moonlight Vigil used onto... Wait, what is that damage? Still takes it down anyway. Now onto Sword Art. Has Bin has to use the Call of the Forge God to try and stop the rest of the play, but Sword Art has caught, he's taken down. I think we might be going to 3 games on this one because Angel is going to be knocked up and Wings is flying across the map to try and finish off these kills. Huanfeng now going to make Blue Ezreal desperate to kite this one away, but there's just no way it's happening. And another kill for Wings. And BLG might just have done it here. Bin, this is trying to buy time in the mid lane while all of this is going on. The question is, how much time could he buy?
Well, that's the thing. You've still got a lot of towers to get through. Of course, you do have an Aphelios who has 6 items, so can get through these relatively quickly. I think BLG have done it. They're pushing us to a game 3.
They're going to at very least try for this one. On towards the mid lane towers they go. 30 seconds on Huanfeng and Angel. SofM and Sword Art are going to come up, but I don't think they have what it takes to take Wings on right now. Not when his whole team has been built around him. And they've set this Aphelios up for success. SofM goes in one last time. He's got himself a stopwatch. Sword Art gets in there as well. But they've still got 10 seconds to burn at this point. Another stopwatch. But he's dropped. Solar Flare's there. The Nexus is going to fall. We're going to 3.
And eventually BLG are able to find the fights that they want to get Wings into a position where he can't free fire. And unfortunately for SofM, that last fight, he got the kick